Gentlemen, by way of Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas, Nevada, Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, in association with your undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser, this Bud's for you, present 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Super Featherweight Championship of the World. This bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Chairman Dr. Elias Ghanem. Commissioners Nat Carasali, Lorenzo Fertitta, Luther Mack, and Dr. James Nave. Executive Director Mark Ratner. Physicians at ringside Dr. Flip Homansky, Dr. Robert Boy, Dr. William Berliner, and Dr. Margaret Goodman. The timekeepers are Al Bisick and James Cavan. This contest is also sanctioned by the World Boxing Council. President at ringside, Jose Suleiman. Supervisor in attendance, Hector Garcia. The three judges scoring this bout on a 10-point bus system are Anek Hamtongkam, John Keane, and Bob Logiste. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action in the ring, referee Mills Lane. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands in attendance here in Las Vegas and the millions watching around the world, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. By way of the site where legends are made, Caesar's Palace. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! In the blue corner, wearing black, trimmed with gold, weighing 140 pounds, he brings a professional record of 41 victories without a loss, including 31 knockouts and a world title to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, from Mexico City, Mexico, here is the #1 ranked challenger in the world, former lightweight world champion, the undefeated Miguel Angel Gonzalez. And across the ring, in the red corner, wearing white, trimmed with red and blue, also weighing 140 pounds. In 1992, he captured Olympic gold. And now, as a professional, he has a perfect record of 22 victories without a defeat, 20 by knockout, and 3 world titles to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, here is the pride of East LA, presenting the 3-time world champion and reigning undefeated super lightweight champion of the world, the Golden Boy, Oscar de la Hoya.
All right, gentlemen, we've already been through the instruction in the dressing room one time. I expect a tough, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions from the challenger?
No.
The champion. Let's get it on.
Nobody says it better than Mills Lane. Let's get it on.
If De La Hoya is too powerful for Gonzalez, as he has been for most of his opponents, this could be quick. You've already heard Larry tell you that Gonzalez is a notoriously slow starter. De La Hoya's fight plan in return is to, quote, attack him like a dog and pressure him from the get-go. And once again, as has been the case in so many recent fights, De La Hoya somehow looks bigger and stronger than a man who weighed in at the same weight. Oscar feinting with the right hand and sticking the left jab. No offense from Gonzalez so far. Throws the left out lazily. Now he fires a jab. First punch from Gonzalez. De La Hoya on the button with those two jabs, and the second one snapped Gonzalez's head back. De La Hoya missed with the left hook. George, I'm just not sure Gonzalez looks ready.
Well, Oscar De La Hoya, of course, is a quick starter. He knows that if you mix those jabs up, he added that to his repertoire about 2 years ago. A stiff jab, get a guy wondering about it, and then come on top with the right hand.
The first thing you notice about Gonzalez is that his head sits still. He doesn't move his head very much.
And that's bad news against a power puncher, and right now, Oscar is using that to pile up points with the left jab. Gonzalez starts to fire his own jab. So far, he's been content to let Oscar set the pace. They trade jabs at center ring. Oscar lands a left hook. De La Hoya with this measured punch output. Not throwing as many punches as he did earlier in his career, but trying to make each punch count more.
Well, if he can get Gonzalez to throw in jabs with him, it could be a long night for Gonzalez.
Mills Lane is going to tell Gonzalez not to throw low blows. That's one warning. Why would it be a long night for Gonzalez if he throws the jab, George?
If he starts trying to match jabs with Oscar De La Hoya, his face will get swollen. And Oscar De La Hoya's got the better because he's educated himself well with a left jab.
Right hand for De La Hoya, right past the guard of Gonzalez. Left hook stuns Gonzalez. De La Hoya sharp from the get-go. Again, De La Hoya blocks with his own right hand and lands his left hook. Gonzalez getting swamped in the first round by the De La Hoya assault. All those Gonzalez bettors better wonder why it looks like this for the beginning. They gotta hope their man warms up. The bell by Gonzalez, and De La Hoya just kind of stared at him as if to say, how dare you. As we go to the corners where you hear Spanish being spoken, our interpreter is Ray Torres.
Ándale. Así estira los pies. Okay. Está bien. Are you okay now? Is everything all right? Páralo. Go ahead and stop him. Páralo. Stop him. Bien, páralo. Stop him. Y le pinta su recto. Páralo. Feint him and then throw that right hand. ¿Está bien cómo está haciendo? Muy bien. Okay.
De La Hoya looked like he could knock over a building with his straight left jab, and that set up these hooks later in the round.
Jabs in round one by punch stat count. De La Hoya threw 42, landed 30. It was a jab clinic in round one. Gonzalez obviously wants to start faster in the second round.
What Gonzalez has to do is he's going to get De La Hoya discouraged, make him miss with those jabs, get that head moving.
Right hand lead across the top by De La Hoya, and he clocked Gonzalez with that one. Gonzalez starting to loosen up offensively, starting to land a little bit, but De La Hoya is finding some opportunities to counter.
De La Hoya goes in real effective with a good stiff left hand. Then he gets this guy waiting on it, and he throws a quick right hand lead.
There's a jab for Gonzalez. Steps in and tries to land an uppercut. De La Hoya misses with the counter in return.
But that was good for Gonzalez. For the first time, he made Oscar De La Hoya do something he had not intended to do. Throw a right hand that was not intended to be thrown. And that's what you want to do with the young fighters. Make them do what they did not intend to do.
Another good thing Gonzalez has begun to do here in the second round is to go to the body. He was all upstairs in the first round, didn't accomplish anything, but he's landed a couple of shots to De La Hoya's ribcage here in round 2. Right hand off the top of De La Hoya's head. Gonzalez's offense heating up. The slow start seemingly over with, and now Oscar has something entirely different to deal with.
Oscar evidently is trying to work on getting a right hand in now, just to find him with the right hand, so he's keeping his left low. Not trying to start anything with his jab at all.
De La Hoya cautious here in round 2, paying a lot of respect to Gonzalez. Gonzalez able to sneak in a little quick left hook. Save this for Miguel Angel Gonzalez. He seemed outclassed in round 1. He's begun to find the target in round 2, but now here comes De La Hoya with combinations again.
Seldom you see a young fighter, once a guy drops his hand and showboat on him, De La Hoya hit him in the stomach.
De La Hoya lands a left hook. And this is a pro De La Hoya crowd. We have not always seen that here in Vegas.
And I've never seen De La Hoya do this kind of an act.
Where you want a corner now to kind of steady him and tell him to cut it out. Go back to what got you here.
Left hook to the body by De La Hoya, and he punctuates the round with a vicious left hook upstairs.
Very good. You're doing very good. Okay? Stay alert. Okay, listen very good. You're catching the punches very well, but you've got to stay alert. That's all you got is about 3 more rounds, okay? But you're doing very good considering everything, okay? Just stay alert all the time.
You gotta be alert.
Whenever you shoot your punch, okay? Okay?
Once again, the left hand of Oscar De La Hoya. The left hand is his best hand, but he fights in a conventional side later in the round. The big hook. Every fight we see De La Hoya in, he's a little better in something. I have never seen him thunder that jab the way he is tonight.
Now Gonzalez steps out in round 3 and begins to step up the level of his own jab, firing the jab with much more aggression than was the case in round 1. Almost as though Gonzalez needed the entire first round to warm up and get ready to fight. Oscar De La Hoya, by punch stat computations, has landed more than 60% of his punches in the first 2 rounds. But now it's Gonzalez who's throwing more. And the Gonzalez contingent in the crowd begins to make its presence felt.
Well, if you're going to be throwing a good stiff left jab, you don't want to move on your legs too much, because that's where all of that stiffness comes from, in the legs.
De La Hoya blocking Gonzalez's left hook with his right elbow, missed the counter in return. Short with the right hand there, short with the jab.
Good body punch by Gonzalez. And you know, I've always said about Oscar De La Hoya, the one thing in his armor that was bad, he never tries to win fights on points. He's always trying to set up a knockout. Sooner or later, someone is going to be around there and ahead of points.
Well, particularly if they can get to his body enough to take away some of the power in the early rounds, and Gonzalez is starting to do some damage. Good left hook by Gonzalez under De La Hoya's chin. And another one. And Gonzalez starting to lead with the left hook to good effect.
Yeah, because Oscar standing back trying to get his left jab started rather than moving around. If you're going to move, move. If you're not, keep your head moving. Move your legs or your hand.
So as Gonzalez becomes the aggressor, dispenses with the jab, and throws power punch leads, he starts to get effective. But now De La Hoya lands a left and a right.
You always tell the fighters, move on your legs. If you're not going to move those legs, keep that head moving at all times. De La Hoya was moving his legs, then he stopped moving his head.
And Gonzalez has started to beat De La Hoya to the punch at long range. Didn't look in the first round as though he'd have any chance of doing that. Now De La Hoya goes back to the jab, and Gonzalez answers confidently. So Miguel Angel Gonzalez begins to fight as though the first round was an aberration, and he's got some stuff that can challenge De La Hoya.
But the one thing, De La Hoya is a puncher, and you don't want to follow a puncher around the ring. You don't want to do that.
As we were saying, Gonzalez,
you gotta feint him.
Fight.
Okay. Mueve siempre la cintura.
All right, now you gotta move your waist.
Y bien parado, bien perfilado.
Just-
Y le entran todos los jabs, todos los rectos.
Use your jabs
Píntaselos.
because
Pam,
the
pam.
jabs are getting in, and jab and cross.
Ese gancho que le están metiendo, tiene que poner medio también para que entre el gancho. Abre las puertas si quiere.
You need to start throwing the uppercuts. Go in the middle.
Muy bien, deep breath. Fondo.
Move real well.
In the last two rounds, Gonzalez has been able to throw more punches than De La Hoya. Not landing at as high a rate, but throwing many more punches. And no fighter in a while has been able to do that. Let's see what De La Hoya does to adjust now and try to find the opportunities that Gonzalez has to give him to be aggressive.
Yeah, De La Hoya goes right to the left hook to the body because his trainer told him, now get in there, get in the middle of him, and get that left hook in there.
Harold Letterman, how you got it?
Jim, 2 rounds to 1, 29-28, Oscar De La Hoya. He hit Miguel Angel Gonzalez so hard in the first 2 rounds. You had to see Gonzalez's head snap back, but the 3rd round, Gonzalez edged it.
De La Hoya landing 2 left hooks there as he chases Gonzalez across the ring, and a straight left and a busting left hook that swiveled Gonzalez's head.
De La Hoya is good, and he knows how to do so many things. Sometimes that can confuse you more than anything because you don't know one thing to do. You got to stick to your left jab and do everything from the left jab.
Good right hand to the body by Gonzalez. He misses with the left uppercut. A couple of people had questioned Gonzalez's chin off what he's shown in these first 4 rounds. You certainly can't do that.
A guy who's undefeated doesn't think he can lose. And that makes his chin stronger.
De La Hoya's jab continues, an awesome weapon. 3 straight solid connects, snapping Gonzalez's head back. And Gonzalez answers in kind. Low blow by Gonzalez, and Mills Lane says keep it up.
That's the 2nd time Lane has spoken to Gonzalez.
De La Hoya backing into the ropes.
Time. Look. You go down there again to the cross the point. Come on.
Well, make it 2.5 warnings.
Get off that neck. Come on.
Gonzalez lost 2 points to low blows in that Lamar Murphy fight back at 135 pounds, August 19, 1995.
It's hard to believe, but De La Hoya can win this thing just by using his left jab.
Hey.
Gonzalez hits on the break. Still no point deduction by Mills Lane. At least 3 solid fouls by Gonzalez. De La Hoya, unruffled, fires the left hook and lands. De La Hoya just missed over the top with the right hand after jabbing twice and landing the left hook. Gonzalez still taking everything well and coming back. 10 seconds left in this round. Well, already Gonzalez has lasted longer than Julio Cesar Chavez did.
Only punch he's landing is the jab, okay? Move your head. These are moving more, okay? That's your only problem. Come on. No more low blows, okay? Be careful. Okay? But your only problem, you're getting hit with one punch. The jab. You're making him miss the left hook and the right hand mostly. The jab. So more head, okay? More your head movement, okay? You're not moving your head enough. You want to just move your head.
You heard Emmanuel Stewart telling Gonzalez to move his head, and this is the reason why. As we noted earlier, very early start in the fight, he keeps his head standing up there looking to get hit. Not unusual for Mexican fighters who are very offensive-minded. But already I think he is showing that he is the most formidable fighter that De La Hoya has fought to date.
Small mouse under the right eye of Miguel Angel Gonzalez. That's no big surprise. Oscar tattooing him with the jab through 4 rounds. He landed 25 of 31 jabs by punch count numbers in round number 4.
One thing about getting caught on the top of the head with those left jabs, after a while it affects your backbone. I've been hit a few times and your back go out. It's not that you're being hurt, but something happens along the spine.
Not only have you felt it, George, your jab has done it to a lot of opponents. De La Hoya blocking the right hand to the body with his elbows. He's done a pretty good job of that, although Gonzalez has gotten to the body a few times, particularly in round 3.
De La Hoya's got to reestablish the dominance of the left jab and just slide to the side with it and let that right hand just develop by itself.
And you saw Gonzalez taking advantage of the chance to get in about 4 more body blows as they hugged at center ring. Gonzalez, totally the aggressor in this round, comes twice with the uppercut, gives De La Hoya a chance to land the left hook, and Oscar clocks him. And another left hook. And another. And De La Hoya thinks he's hurt Gonzalez. Goes to the body and comes back with a combination, and Gonzalez goes to the body in return. Furious action in round 5. Another solid left hook, and Gonzalez is backed off of his stance. Oscar De La Hoya following his plan to attack like a dog. And all that conspires to slow Gonzalez's aggression down. But still he keeps punching.
Well, this is like running wind sprints. After you throw that many punches like De La Hoya did, you take a breather, but you got to be careful that you're out of range to take that breather.
Gonzalez landing the straight left jab there, something that hasn't been all that easy for him to do. De La Hoya was staying in close quarters and not throwing punches.
He's sprinting himself out and he's trying to recuperate, and that's what happened when you're in good shape. You can recuperate, but you got to make sure you've got distance.
This is the kind of fight that a lot of fans thought Chavez would give to De La Hoya. He's getting it 7 months later.
Gonzalez is bringing out the best in De La Hoya to this point.
He needs to come in as soon as he gives you an opportunity, you feint him and then hit him in the uppercut. That's the best shot. You make sure you pick him up with that uppercut. Feint him. Let me talk.
¿Qué dice Chuck? Me está confundiendo a él. Dígale que no hable.
Here you will see the flurry of De La Hoya in that round with his amazingly quick hands. The big right followed by the left, putting Gonzalez on the defensive.
De La Hoya has taken some shots, but his face so far unmarked. We've shown you the mouse under the right eye of Miguel Angel Gonzalez. Round 6 of a scheduled 12. Once again in that round, Gonzalez throwing many, many more punches than De La Hoya. De La Hoya landing at an extraordinarily high rate. Harold Letterman, you see something in what De La Hoya is doing that is affected by the rules?
Jim, absolutely. Oscar De La Hoya measures you. He sticks that left glove out, he opens it up, and then he whacks you with a right hand, and he does it a lot. And a lot of referees won't allow that. You can't open a glove. He holds it out, he pushes Gonzalez off, and then he whacks him with the right hand. And he's done it more than once.
George, you think Mills Lane is something of a laissez-faire referee, lets a lot of things go in the ring?
I don't think so, because Oscar is not touching him with that open hand. He's more or less keeping it out there. As long as your hand is out there, it's part of your body.
Another flurry of lefts by De La Hoya, 2 jabs and a left hook. Another good show of tough chin by Miguel Angel Gonzalez. And Gonzalez again takes advantage at close quarters to whack De La Hoya, and Mills has to talk about it again. Still no deduction. Gonzalez not quite as aggressive now as he was in the last couple of rounds. Maybe because he's been made to pay so frequently. De La Hoya content to avoid Gonzalez and look for a chance to land another big shot. Good combination by Gonzalez. He takes a better one in return from De La Hoya.
Oscar De La Hoya stands on the ball of his feet, and he rides those things like a quarterback in the pocket, and he comes back with his eyes wide open.
And when he throws the left hook, George, he does it with murder in his heart.
Every punch, bad intentions.
This is why he has to take, when he throws a lot of punches, he takes a big rest in between there, because it's like sprinting. It takes a lot out of you to throw that much power.
Another sensational left hook.
Here we go, come on.
Gonzalez's pace has slowed in this round. De La Hoya has countered him at every opportunity.
Now, the effect of that jab, it made him move his body back. I've seen it happen. I've felt it happen. Those jabs should just affect your spine and make you fall backwards if you're not careful.
Oh, what a left hook. What a chin Gonzalez has. That punch has knocked out most De La Hoya opponents.
Right now, he's taking apart a good fighter like a jeweler taking apart a good watch.
Dame el fierrito, por favor, el fierrito, por favor.
Don't jab at him first. You understand? No jab first. You know jab. Make him, he jab first, okay? Because after you're jabbing, he's picking it, and then he's jabbing your back, okay? Make him jab first primero, okay? Keep your head moving. That's all you can do is move your head more, okay? More head movement, okay?
Mueve la cabeza más.
Folks, these are the kind of punches that are a visual textbook. Later in the round.
There we go, seconds out. Let's go, Manny.
That's a punch from the front seat. Going after it, putting everything into it.
I don't know if we've ever seen a fighter against an excellent, unbeaten opponent like Gonzalez go through 6 rounds, landing 67% of his punches. But that's what De La Hoya has done, according to punch stat computation.
Against a fighter who, up to now, has been landing 25% of his, allowed his opponents to land 25%.
Exactly.
Now here you see De La Hoya with his glove open, but I think it's hard for the referee to see that all the time.
Good overhand right.
Good right hand by Gonzalez.
The first one tonight, because De La Hoya started to play around a little too much. Sometimes, and he's turning his fighting until now, it's called trap fighting. You let the guy have a jab, you let him have a right to the body, and then the next time he tries either one, you go over top. And sometimes you can get caught into your own traps.
Well, De La Hoya went a little left-hand happy in the last round, but obviously Gonzalez either was told or decided, I can throw right-hand counters over that. And he landed a big one.
Well, when you're a trap fighter, you allow the guy to throw a punch, but you don't intend for him to have that much power at this stage of the fight.
By a trap fighter, George, you mean like a baseball hitter looking for his pitch? Just waiting for one particular pitch to knock out of the ballpark.
That's right.
But De La Hoya landed another good left hook in close.
But it has to happen behind one shot that the guy has confidence in. Allow him to do something that he's comfortable in and then make him pay for it. Setting traps.
Oh, good right hand body shot and a left hook upstairs by De La Hoya. Just textbook stuff, as Larry has been pointing out.
And Oscar's doing a good job of it. He steps back and then he circles. Make 2 steps and then circle.
Get him, come on, okay, Oscar, that's down low. Come on, get him up. Let's go. Here we go.
That's 2-1 on warnings on low blows if you're counting.
Another left hook backs up Gonzalez. De La Hoya hasn't been able to bring blood from that right eye yet. You remember how easily he cut Chavez with a jab in the first round. Good uppercut. Gonzalez tries it again. He was open there for a right hand, but De La Hoya let it go by. And now Mills Lane is going to deduct a point.
Yeah, he's right this time. He's given him every opportunity to be a good guy, and
He could have done it before very easily. So that's 1 point gone from Gonzalez's scorecards.
Sometimes when you want to work that left jab, you got to kind of put it to your waist a little bit just to draw the guy in. But you got to make sure that you're pretty alert to his right hand.
Another flurry of power punches by De La Hoya. Another left hook inside, lands flush. Gonzalez comes back. But if there was any doubt about who won the round, Oscar settled it in the last 10 seconds.
All right, it's very well.
Good job.
After 2 jabs on the top, feint and a right hand to the body. 2 jabs on the top, and then go ahead and bend over and make sure you throw that straight right hand. You're going to confuse him. Make sure the jabs are on top. You go ahead and feint him. Don't wait for him.
69% now.
Okay, baby. Come on.
4 or 5 fights ago, I don't think De La Hoya would be ready for this Gonzalez. A year and a half later, he appears to be ready for anyone.
Round 8 of the scheduled 12. De La Hoya's WBC Junior Welterweight Championship at stake. Harold Letterman, how do you have it so far?
Jim, 69-63, 6 rounds to 1, Oscar De La Hoya. The only round out given Gonzalez is the 3rd. He lost the point in the 7th round for rabbit punching, but that was just an accumulation of fouls. Mills then got tired of it, and he took that point for rabbit punching. Most of the time, Gonzalez was hitting low.
I have the same score.
Now, Oscar, once again, is taking a little breather. He's a sprinter. He throws power punches, and he throws them quick, and you got to take a break, and that's what he's doing. You know, because Oscar's got so much respect for Gonzalez, he's probably going to give him an unnecessary beating. If he had not such respect, he would have knocked him out already, but he figures I better save something no matter what.
Well, I don't know. Gonzalez has taken so much, George. His chin is awfully good, obviously.
But
you don't mean that he's carrying him, George?
No, not in the back of his mind. He's thinking, you know, I better save something in case this guy comes back.
So you're saying that Gonzalez has showed enough of him that he's not going to spend himself on one big, long rally.
And if it's because of the respect factor.
De La Hoya landing 2 more left hooks. The one about 20 seconds ago was another that might have finished most of his previous opponents.
Yeah, because he's been listening to the propaganda about this guy is a good fighter. He's undefeated. He's the best. You don't just go to sleep and say, that means nothing to me.
De La Hoya is always kind of sparing with the right hand. He's never been a real frequent right hand puncher because he has so much confidence in his left jab and his left hook. But some observers are now suggesting to us at ringside that maybe Oscar's hand or shoulder is hurt because he's throwing the right so infrequently. Let's keep an eye on that, George. Of course, when you're this good with the left hand, you might just hold it back in reserve.
Now he's dropping his hand to set those traps again. Makes 2 steps back and circles around, and this guy seems to follow him right into the trap.
Now he's throwing right hands. I think the right hand is fine. I think he's just doing so much damage with the left, he's sticking with it.
Now he's step backs, he jabs, and then he fakes like he's going to throw a jab and doesn't tell him what may come, a left hook or a right hand.
This round has been another boxing clinic for De La Hoya as Gonzalez has once again slowed the pace, and Miguel Angel is not doing any damage to Oscar, who is piling up points with the left jab and the left hook. Gonzalez's punches seemingly slowing down just a little bit, George.
De La Hoya is such a student of boxing. He's wanting to learn something all the time.
And there you see the great, the legendary Willie Pep, brought here because Jesus Rivera, the trainer of De La Hoya, has used him as a model for De La Hoya. That doesn't mean that De La Hoya is trying to fight like Pep. What he is trying to learn about Pep is how to stay in control, how to use your intelligence in the ring as well as your fists.
And when you get to meet these guys, it brings a little extra confidence to you that they would be associated with you and not the other guy.
Watch the ice.
Believe me, De La Hoya has thrown his best shots early on, and he knows this guy's going to be around unless he catches him with a hard right hand. When he...
Oscar De La Hoya has scored late knockouts before. He knocked out John Avila in the 9th, Jimmy Bredal in the 10th, so he's still thinking a knockout is possible as we get to the 9th of a scheduled 12. Miguel Angel Gonzalez, it would appear to our eyes, ought to be so far behind on points that he needs a knockout to have a chance to win the fight.
And I think he's fighting like that. It goes back to what George said earlier. He's looking to set some kind of a trap to land a punch that can change the fight around.
De La Hoya is like, I dare you to throw your right hand.
Emmanuel Stewart was quoted.
Now it's about time that the referee warns him about that hand, that left hand out there. You're right, Harold. It's time to get warning now.
And also, you know, a welt is raised under De La Hoya's left eye. So apparently, Gonzalez has landed some of those rights. There's a slight welt by his right eye, I believe.
Left eye.
Left eye.
And it would come from the right hand leads, which were Gonzalez's most effective punches in those moments when he's done well. And Gonzalez becoming the aggressor again, and his fans in the crowd rise to the occasion to try to build support for him.
De La Hoya is dangerously dropping that left hand for whatever reason, I don't know. He's carrying it low. You got to bring it up to stop the shot. And you got to bring it up to throw the punch. So you need to just keep it up for a while.
George, maybe he's tired from throwing it so much.
No doubt about it.
And that left eye is swelling pretty rapidly now for Oscar De La Hoya. So this is one of the bigger challenges that's ever faced him in the ring, as the left eye begins to swell and may conceivably affect his vision in the last 3 rounds of the bout. Meanwhile, he stiffens Gonzalez with the left and backs him up again.
That's what happens when you have a good fighter and you play around and let him in and out the hook. It comes back to haunt you.
If you're scoring and you're looking for a round...
That's overhand right.
If you're scoring and you're looking for a round to give to Gonzalez, this is your best chance in quite some time.
Right, since the 3rd round.
Gonzalez missing with that overhand right. De La Hoya cautious as round 9 comes to a close. Miguel Angel has chased him around the ring and been the aggressor in this round. And De La Hoya tries to finish with one big left hook, but misses by a fraction of an inch.
Are you tired?
Don't worry about it. When Oscar goes out, you gotta keep the glove closed, okay? Okay? Se le va a rajar.
He's gonna quit. He's gonna quit on you.
All right.
Go ahead and move that waist.
Watch that right hand, yeah.
Here's the Gonzalez right hand that has been marking up De La Hoya for perhaps the first time in the fight in his career. And you heard during the round referee Mills Lane tell the corner of De La Hoya to make him stop fighting with an open glove, as Harold Letterman pointed out earlier in the fight.
And you saw the punch stat numbers for round 9 that had Miguel Angel Gonzalez doubling De La Hoya's punch output. Oscar landed just as many, but the judges are likely to be impressed by the degree to which Gonzalez was the aggressor in that frame.
Now De La Hoya is going to have to establish more than the left jab to keep this guy off of him. He's going to have to come with some combinations and make him stop. Then he can move.
Part of the crowd beginning to boo as it appears De La Hoya is coasting and sitting on his lead.
Either that or he's trying to trap Gonzalez, just like that.
That's why I said it's dangerous to follow a puncher, because anything he hits you with can drop you. But when you follow him, you better have some punches on him at all times.
It's abundantly clear, George, that Oscar wants to land the big left hook and get that eye back to the dressing room. Gonzalez still working in there. De La Hoya being cautious, looking to land one big shot.
All De La Hoya has to do is to pick his left hand up. Pick your left hand up, as Tony should tell him. Because nothing happens with the left hook.
This is going to be another round in which Gonzalez will have a much higher punch output than De La Hoya. And Oscar better hope that that lead on the scorecards is pretty safe, because the momentum of the fight is changing. And De La Hoya is allowing it to change. Or maybe he's trying to impress Willie Pep, who once won a round without throwing a punch, right?
Correct.
But this is a fight you're going to have to throw a punch to win.
Yeah.
Not only throw a punch, but you're going to have to keep this guy off of you. He has a devastating right hand, Gonzalez does.
You want to be careful not to play too cozy with the scorecards anywhere in the world, but a lot of people would say particularly here.
Why do we think that De La Hoya is doing this?
De La Hoya is having some difficulty out of that left eye, and he's tired. He's sprinted with some hard shots. He's not been able to knock this guy down, and he's trying to save himself for the last round.
So even though he was landing that jackhammer jab almost at will through most of the fight and winning the fight with it, suddenly he stops throwing it and starts to do this.
You win that round too, okay? You'll be the new world champion. Just 2 more rounds, baby, okay? Just keep the pressure on it. When you get close, drop a short 1-2, okay? Short, then at the ratio. Short though, okay? Short right, get closer, drop the right hand short. But you're winning the fight now. Keep the pressure on, okay? Okay. Keep the pressure. Relax, relax.
Keep punching with the uppercuts. Keep boxing the way you're doing. When you stop, make sure you cross. Throw that right hand.
¿Qué pasa si los perros? ¿Le vas a atacar? ¿Le vas a atacar? Ya que los pares bien, lo atacas. Le pegas y lo empujas. Pero ¿cómo te sientes, Sam?
Round 10 was another one in which Oscar De La Hoya was very sparing in his use of the right hand. You heard his corner telling him to go ahead and throw the right.
Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 10 rounds?
Larry, 97-92, 7 rounds to 3, Oscar De La Hoya. What I'm saying is that Miguel Gonzalez would either need sensational rounds or a knockout to win this fight, because De La Hoya is 5 points ahead, including the point that Mills Lane took off in the 7th round for rabbit punching.
We're on the same page here, Harold. I don't know where I've gone wrong.
De La Hoya's face is swelling so rapidly, George, that you wonder if maybe there's a broken bone in there.
Yeah, you wonder about that, but I said earlier that if you use a stiff left jab, you can't use your legs, you just get tired. You got to take a choice, one or the other.
I just think, Jim, we're unused to seeing him marked up. I just think he's got a swollen cheekbone. I wouldn't think he has anything broken in there.
Well, he's much more swollen now than is Gonzalez, and it's all happened within the last 2 or 3 rounds.
Well, you're right there. He's often talked about not wanting to walk around with cuts and bruises like a real fighter. Tonight,
he looks like a real fighter.
And he'll look like that for a few weeks.
And his jab is getting awful slow. Oscar hasn't the confidence now to step in because he's figuring his guy might counter him with a right hand. But you got to keep it up. This isn't a pretty game. Don't try to look pretty.
All right, I hear what you're saying, George, and I think you might have put your finger on it, that he doesn't want to get hit by that right hand on the cheekbone, and that's why he's not throwing as many lefts as he was before.
Not throwing as many of anything. And interestingly, Emmanuel Stewart elected to tell his fighter, Miguel Gonzalez, between rounds, that he was winning the fight. I'm not sure that I would have done that.
Get off that mat, come on.
It's not an easy thing for a fighter who's never been hurt in the ring or marked up for it to happen. You got to make up your mind, hey, this is the business I'm in, and let's go.
This is going to raise a lot of questions about De La Hoya as he goes into the Whitaker fight in April, if in fact Whitaker can get past Hurtado next week, and if in fact De La Hoya gets the victory here.
And I think the adversity is really good for De La Hoya. Now he's gone through it, he knows what it's all about, and he's doing a good job with it.
Why is Gonzalez throwing so few punches in this round, George?
Oscar De La Hoya, even when he touches you a little bit, he has hands like there are bricks in there. It hurts. You go and miss him, and he makes you pay.
De La Hoya finishing the round strongly. 3 more minutes to go.
Don't worry about it. Everything is perfect. The last round, man. The last round, Miguel. Last round. Got to shit all over this guy. Come on. Last round. This round would probably win the fight. You understand?
Vamos, eh?
But you have to be first, though. First. Usted tiene que hacer la instrucción. No le esperes el último.
You gotta be first. You can't wait. The last round coming up.
Muy bien. Entonces boxea.
Keep boxing in.
All right, second zone.
Pero no importa. Asegúralo. Dale una madriza ahorita.
Go ahead and beat him up.
Gonzalez told us he would dance to whatever song that De La Hoya sings, meaning he would fight him according to the way De La Hoya fought him. Right now, he's the one that has to sing the song.
De La Hoya suddenly aggressive again in the 12th.
He's not aggressive. He's actually boxing, and the guy's running right into the punching power.
All right. Come on.
3 judges seated at ringside. 1 from Bangkok, Thailand, 1 from London, England, 1 from London, Belgium. WBC judges. This is the organization which has produced, among many other controversial decisions, the infamous draw between Pernell Whitaker and Julio Cesar Chavez in San Antonio, September 21, 1993.
We saw Oscar De La Hoya turn southpaw for a second. He said he would do it against Chavez, but now he's doing it tonight.
Much of the crowd booing De La they perceive that he's trying to run away from Gonzalez and protect himself.
Time. Take another point off. Take a point off. I'll take it. One more time.
That could damage Gonzalez dramatically. And another left hook by De La Hoya. Well, if Gonzalez had any chance to win the fight on the scorecards, it was just damaged severely by the second point deduction by Mills Lane. And De La Hoya is finding the target again. He looks like a fighter in every way now. Not just the face, but the fists as well.
He knows how to close the show, George.
Does he not? He did this against Molina, too. When a lot of the skeptics thought Molina could take him in a decision, he tore him up in the 12th round. He's doing it again to Gonzalez tonight.
He's learned every trick in the book, and he's had to use them tonight. No doubt he would not have been able to survive without his tricks. Gonzalez had heart and a good right hand.
De La Hoya fighting with what I personally suspect could turn out to be a broken cheekbone.
Which, if true, would certainly delay any fight with Whitaker.
And showing some grit in the 12th.
Gonzalez appears to have accepted his fate. He wants to finish the fight. He doesn't want to leave himself open to be stopped.
Here comes the 10-second signal. Here comes another De La Hoya rally as he attempts to finish the fight with a big show. Will he throw one more left hook?
All he needs is one good combination.
Said, gentlemen, this was his most formidable opponent. I don't know if he's going to get the credit that he deserves for doing this to a real fighter.
Harold Letterman, how did you score it?
Jim, 117, 109, 9 rounds to 3. Oscar De La Hoya. He gets an extra point in the 12th round because Mills Lane pulled one for hitting out a break. He gets an extra point in the 7th round for the rabbit punching. He's 6 points ahead because of these 6 rounds that he won by. So 117, 109, decisive for Oscar De La Hoya.
I'm willing to bet you that none of the 3 official judges' scorecards will be that one-sided.
I'd like to see it.
Just a wild guess. We'll see. WBC Chairman Jose Suleiman seated at ringside, observing now as his 3 judges get ready to deliver the verdict on the fight. You heard Emmanuel Stewart talking to his fighter as though he believed Gonzalez was headed for victory. Let's go to Michael Buffer to find out who won.
Ladies and gentlemen, by way of Caesar's Palace here in Las Vegas, we go to the scorecards. Bob Logiste scores the bout 117 to 111. John Keane scores it 117 to 110. And Anek Humtongam scores it 117 to 109 for the winner. And still, WBC Super Lightweight Champion of the World, the Golden Boy, Oscar